Well, I mean, for a 4-0 win, there was an awful lot of suspense in this one. How did the girls get through it all and come out on top?
I think probably all the long practices and intense practices and yesterday we had a couple that were pretty nervous. Never did really get the eye of the tiger. Today one of those really was the unsung hero at third base with the plays she made, and she almost, if she would have been that much farther, she'd have had that bunt, and it would have been a triple play because they were running and bunting. And when she missed that ball, that runner was already on third, and the runner was already on second. So, but it's a game of inches. But they had runners on first and second, and I had just yelled out to my shortstop and third baseman, have a plan, know what you're going to do with the runner at second on a ball hit to you. I thought she was throwing it to first base. I don't think there's a person in the place that didn't think she was throwing it to first. It was that good. And she made a perfect throw to Brittany at second. And then the line shot and a good throw to first on the double play just took them out of innings and kind of broke their heart probably.
Who taught her that fake throw?
Well, probably the coaching staff. I mean, that's things we worked on way back in the beginning of the year, indoors and outside, and it's just part of the practice plan.
Did you bring it up before was that something you talked about in the scouting report before the game, that hey, if we get in this situation, you might want to try that?
No, that's just softball. Just stuff you do all the time so that you're prepared for every situation. No, we never talked about that.
So if Tori was the unsung hero, Brittany, terror on the bases. She scored 2 of the runs, the first 2, and just an all-around good game. She made the last out. I mean, just talk about her on the bases today.
Well, Brittany's a great softball player. She always has been a great softball player and has never really gotten her due. Sometimes it takes a trip to a place like this to really get your due, because this is a big showcase. But Brittany plays like this all the time. I mean, I think she's close to 60 stolen bases on the year, and one throw out on a play at third in a game where there could have been obstruction. It doesn't matter, but I did not give her the steal of third. She did that totally on her own. All I did is tell her to go home when the ball went into left field. I did not tell her to go home on the errant throwback into the infield on Tomlinson's fantastic bunt. She went on her own. And you can't teach speed. All you can do with speed is teach them moxie and how to use the speed with the moxie to do what she did. Brittany shined today on a pretty big stage, but they really all did. We had one error, but Tiffany had a nice clean throw to the plate on the force out. We shifted our outfield over, and fortunately I had Nicole playing right where she had to be. I mean, we just shifted over like 15 or 20 feet, and that ball dies in like Shoeless Joe's glove, But that all comes from just being around a ballpark your entire life. You just have a feel for where a kid might hit a ball, and you have to play those hunches. Didn't come from a scouting report. I'd only seen them play yesterday. I just thought that girl was just a little bit behind, and we were working on the outside corner, and I moved Nicole over, and she made a nice running catch. Rigel, 2 big hits. She had a triple yesterday and a double today. There's just lots of people who can take credit for this whole thing. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Why is this one special? Because, I asked you this one before. Every team is different, but why is this one special?
Well, I think this one is special because, we had a pretty good ball club last year, and we had to endure some real trauma at the end of the year last year, the whole team. And we tried to play through that, and I wasn't really myself last year at the sectional final because of what had happened in my life, when you lose your best friend. So I wasn't really as intense as what I should have been, but I'm not using that as an excuse. We still needed to play, but I just thought this team had a chance to get back here. And I knew we were in for a rough haul, a tough haul coming back, because we were in a darn tough, I wasn't sure we could get past Marshall. I wasn't sure, I wasn't sure we could get past Waterloo or Broadhead, but we endured and we persevered.
Looking back on last season, the way the sectional final went, any moments this weekend where you took a moment to reflect and look back and think about him?
Well, I think about my father all the time, so a direct answer to your question is no. The answer would be yes, because my father's in my life every single day. And so we never talked about that at all, and I didn't use that as any motivation towards myself. We were not trying to win this one for my dad or anybody like that. I was trying to win this game for these girls and this community.
What about Kirsten, back to some of the jams she got in? She had help from the defense, obviously, but to get out of that 6th inning jam, that was key.
She made some pitches she had to make. You got to give Pacelli credit. They stayed off, even with 2 strikes on them, they stayed off the teasers that all the other players all year long took the tease and would strike out. They didn't do that. Now, that's probably a good scouting report. They probably knew, that we're going to waste pitches high and we're not afraid to go to 2-2 and 3-2 if we can get you to swing at a pitch that's going up the ladder. So you got to give them a lot of credit for making us work like that, because that had to have come from their tremendous coaching staff.
Lasting memory, you guys, it hasn't had much time to set in, but you get on the bus now and there's going to be a rally when you get home. What's the lasting memory of this season and this team going to be?
Well, every day you take the practice field and every game you play, if you haven't created at least one forever memory at each one of those, then you probably shouldn't be in this racket. And you probably shouldn't compete as an athlete, because it's really all about forever memories. Tomorrow I'm going to a 13-year reunion of our very first one ever. I saw one of the girls here because we had agreed to have a get-together when they were of age, and it's taken us 13 years for all of them to be of age and be able to get back to town. So tomorrow will be a special day as well with those first original girls. There's one standing over there in a white shirt, and there's a couple others around here. So someday we'll have a reunion with these.
Anything else, Coach?
No, it's just I appreciate your help and all your backing and all of the great stuff you do, and it's just a really rewarding way to retire.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.